Sorry for the delay. The stream has been restarted.
I don't see Margaret.
I'm here.
There she is. Okay. Margaret, I guess we need a motion to reconvene from our executive session. Do I have a motion?
I shall move.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Okay. Roll call.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box,
Yes.
and motion carried.
Okay. Thank you. At this point in time, I'd like to announce that Natalie is. We regret to announce but are happy for Natalie Gaylord has chosen to retire after decades of service to the college. She contributed more than most of us can count, and she will be deeply missed by many. We wish for nothing but the best for her as she moves forward into her next chapter. And that being said, Dr. Bush, I guess you're up. You've got a report.
Yes, Mr. Chair. My report is in your binders. I don't see necessity to go through it item by item. Just a couple of quick highlights. We've made some significant progress across the country in the last month. Was able to bring home some recognition for Mesalands from the National AACC conference, recognizing our excellence there, and that was a nice touch. And then of course we want to certainly take a pause and congratulate our graduates who graduated with us from us last week. We had a very nice event and a watch party, and was able to have a little reception afterwards. And I think that was also an exceptional event. I think otherwise, we'll just sort of leave my notes as they are there. You can pull from those. We're continuing to work on a couple of big projects. In particular, we're working on with our partners in Union County. We're looking and working with some meat processing inspector training that may be coming to our way in July, as well as the growth of our CDL program, which I think will be addressed later. I really think the biggest news this evening is the great news that we have received regarding our nursing program. Our nursing program has cleared the New Mexico Department of Higher Education. The Secretary Rodriguez has approved our program to move forward. And I think a great deal of kudos and thanks goes to Ms. Gillard and the ones who, Shannon Freeze, our nursing director, and those who worked on putting that together. And I want to thank them for that. The nursing program's next step will be approval from the Higher Learning Commission. And from there, we will be right on our way to developing and advancing our health sciences program here at Mesalands. So I think the only other thing I would simply add is that we have seen a very nice flurry over the last week or so of new student athletes coming to us. This is very exciting. And I think over the next couple of weeks, there are a few signing ceremonies. And so we see students now coming to us in our sanctioned, nationally sanctioned programs and as new athletes. So this is very exciting as well. So I think, Mr. Chairman, that sort of really sums up my report in a nutshell. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer those.
You're muted, Mr. Streetman.
Thank you, Larry. Questions, anyone? If not, Dr. Bush, you going to continue with Dr. Brooks's report?
Yeah, Dr. Brooks has been working with the faculty and the staff and all across the college, really becoming acquainted and working with the creation of a number of our policies and getting those things in alignment. He's been doing a lot of work as far as getting out into the community and working as well, working closely with building and grounds. I know has been working with Jim and looking at some building issues. There's a lot going on there, and his role has been very beneficial. But we'll just sort of leave it at that.
Okay. I believe Dr. Hackett, I believe you're up. Dr. Hackett, you're muted. At least I hope you're still there.
Yes, sorry, I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
You got anything you want to highlight on your report, ma'am?
No, I was just pulling it up to see if there's anything I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
I don't think so at this time.
Very good. Okay, and Dr. Bush, you going to cover for Stephanie Rotero?
Yeah, I actually don't have a report from Ms. Otero, but I know what I can simply say is that she is on her way and will be here within the next day or so. She, I know, has been working closely with Natalie and Wanda and the auditors and those working on the fines, as well as the business office organization. So she's been very busy in collaboration with those folks as well.
And I will say, this is Dr. Hackett. She also worked with me on the HERF project. We had that submitted. So
yes, that's correct. Thank you, Dr. Hackett. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay,
and Mr. Chair, I'll take care of the academic affairs for Ms. Gillard.
okay.
And
proceed, sir.
Yes, absolutely. So we have two action items here. Ms. Gillard has submitted. First is the quarterly financial actions report. You'll find that under tab, I think it's Exhibit 5, under the probably
Yes.
yellow tab in your binder. This is a document she has prepared. It represents sort of the quarterly report that she submits each quarter. Nothing new or no surprises there, but it does require your action as we submit this. So I do ask the board for approval of this report and your ultimate signature, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Do we have a motion? Okay, let's see. We need a motion to approve the quarterly financial actions report.
Teresa Stevenson, I move that we approve it.
Okay, and a second, please.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the second item under academic affairs and Ms. Gillard's preparation is the audit contract for the fiscal year of 2022. You'll find that as Exhibit 6 in your board packet. You'll see at the bottom of this contract the total of $64,725, and the contract is here for your review. Ultimately, it is a standard contract, not unlike the other contracts we've entered into with this group before. So I simply need approval from the board to continue and proceed with the audit contract for fiscal year 2022, please.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the audit contract for fiscal year 2022?
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
Okay, and roll call?
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
and Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay. Mr. McVeigh, I believe you're up, sir.
Yes, sir. We are very excited that graduation went well. We were very excited about the video that we shared. I do want to take a second to say thank you very much to Rob Whitmore and Larry Wickham, who worked with me on that video. And the design was done beautifully well by Rob. And then Larry was incredible in getting all of it put together, taking all of our pieces and making sure that they fit together very well. I think Rob would agree with me in saying that Larry carried a lot of that and helped us out, ensuring that we had a phenomenal graduation, virtual graduation for our students. So I just want to say thank you to Larry and to Rob as well for helping us accomplish that video. It was wonderful. We had the following we had a watch party, and then, of course, following reception afterward, hosted by Dr. Bush and his wife, Mary Beth. And it was just a lovely reception and a wonderful time to get together. And I want to say thank you to everyone that was involved. And Dr. Bush and Mary Beth, thank you very much for that reception as well. And then I also just want to highlight that we are excited about our enrollment strategies as we're moving forward to streamline those, working with our Executive Director of Admissions and, of course, our Director of Advising with Ms. Patricia Crook. And those that are involved in that pipeline, making it the best that we can for our students so that they can have the best access for the most success as we're using our resources well in that area. And then I do want to highlight a couple of events that are coming up. One is that in June 5th through the 11th, we are having our iron pour, and I'm very excited to announce that we have over 38 students currently registered for that iron pour. From what I understand, it's one of the largest iron pours, if not the largest, that we will be having. And so we're very excited about that event. And then also at the end of, as it highlights here in the report, at the end of June, we are completing a strategic enrollment plan. And we have our team working together on that from all different departments. And everyone is being so helpful in ensuring that we are reporting accurately and correctly, but then making just a phenomenal plan as we move forward into the future. We look back to 2017 and we look forward all the way to 2028 as we are planning strategically to help our students be as successful as possible. Just a couple things I want to highlight, and we're very excited as we move forward in those areas. Thank you.
Okay, I believe, Mr. Morgan, I believe you're up, sir.
Okay, if everybody will turn over to Exhibit 7, the monthly financial report for April, and then turn to Exhibit 1. That is the budget summaries. Fairly typical. You see this every month. If there's any questions, if not, turn over to the next one, which is the investment report showing all the CDs we have at the various financial institutions around town, both the wind turbine contingencies as well as the normal revenues. No questions. Go on over to the checks cut reports, which is a list of all checks that have been cut since the last report. No questions on that. I do need action, please.
Okay. Got the monthly financial report. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Morgan? Okay, if there are no questions, do we have a motion to approve the monthly financial report for April 2022?
I
So
move that
moved.
we approve the financial report.
Okay, somebody? Okay, Jimmy seconded. Roll call?
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
and Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay.
Okay, please turn over to number 8, Exhibit 8. This is the project submitted to HED. It is the first element of our solar training program. It is basically, it looks like a radar. It's a dual tracking solar array, except the array is square, not round. It is going to be presented July 8th, I believe, or 9th, to the staff, and they will just look at it. We don't have to go and present it. We don't have to submit a full capital project either, because it is less than $100,000, and based on our enrollment at less than $100,000, we're only required to get staff approval, not full capital project committee approval. If you go back through there, you can see the entire project. Some of you are probably interested in the kind of things we're using. We're using C-Sun solar panels, 250 watt. They were free. I got them from a fabrication place where they do reconstitution or rebuilding of solar panels. And the lady gave me these solar panels, 25 of them. So they will be on that dual tracking array. That array will be slightly north of the wind center. We will trench over into the trench right up next to the wind center, go inside the wind center where we will have a lithium iron phosphate battery. That battery is 22.8 kilowatt hours. It will probably handle our data center for, my guess is 8 hours, which is a long time to have a battery backup, hold up your system while you shut it down gently if you can't rectify the situation. It will also be grid connected. The cost for that is $97,717. And first, because it's a capital project, I need the board signature on, it's near the end of this. That would signify your approval. If you want, let me go through the rest of the enclosures here, and then you can then we can take the action on the package itself. There's a printout from the appropriation for the $350,000 that we got for all of the different solar and microgrid and et cetera type products. Out of that, we will be using this $97,000. The next page is a full printout of our general fund, of our funds. That's required as part of the package submittal. Next to that is a package that shows where the solar array is going to be installed. Sorry. And then if you go back to the approval, I need action on submitting this project as it is. I think. Let me look at the matrix. Margaret, do I need action on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any questions on the project itself?
You're muted, Mr. Streetman.
Let's, okay, Exhibit 8. Do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay, and a second?
Teresa Stevenson's second.
Okay, this will be a motion here to approve and second on Exhibit 8. Roll call.
Miss Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay. Now, the purchase requisition for PPC Solar. This is Exhibit 9. Now that
Yes,
is the
sir.
purchase requisition 115605 for $97,102. Do we
Yes,
have
and
a
it is
motion?
to CES, not the contractor, because CES. Sorry.
No,
Looks to me like the vendor is Paradise Power Company.
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
I'm
It
sorry.
is.
Yeah.
That's
He's-
the next
he's-
one.
He's using his
Yeah.
state licensing agreement. Thanks, Margaret.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
As long as we got it straight, guys. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve
I'm aboard.
Do I have a motion to approve
So
the
this-
purchase order?
So move.
Okay, in a second.
This is Philip. Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Miss Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay. Jim, is something about a purchase requisition
Just
building?
a note on it, Jim.
You're breaking up, sir.
Yeah, just a note. If you notice on this one, the balance of the appropriation is 153,691.30. That is not in addition to another appropriation we got because we reauthorized it from the gym floor into the solar. So we have another $100,000 appropriation, which is not included in this appropriation, this NOO. It's not reflected. I just want to remind everybody that we're down to 153, but we have another 100,000 left
Oh,
in
okay.
addition to that.
Okay. Well, this particular purchase requisition, if I'm correct, we've already approved this some months ago. Is this not right, Margaret?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You approve the project. It's just the purchase rec, and just because of the amount,
Okay.
it's just going to the board for approval because of the amount of it. But it's
Only
already
the
been
amount.
approved.
Only the amount
Yeah.
triggers the approval.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Then do we have a motion to approve this basically again because there was an additional $100,000 in there?
Again.
Again. Okay. Do we have a motion?
This is Philip. I so move.
Okay. And a second,
Second.
please. Okay, Jimmy, seconded. And roll call.
Okay. Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
and Miss Stevenson,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay. Looks like next on our agenda is workforce development report from.
Okay, next.
I see you got something else, Jim? I think we got everything covered for you.
Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I do, sir. Exhibit 10
We just
is
got through
a
approving.
requisition has within
just-
it two.
We just got through approving exhibit 10, Jim.
No, you approved exhibit 9, sir.
We have approved, Margaret, correct me. We
Yes,
have
sir.
approved exhibit 8, 9, and 10, have we not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Exhibit 10 was to CES, and that's the one that y'all previously approved that project just because the amount of the
Okay, my
purchase
mistake.
rec.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes. So we're done with that.
Okay. Next, workforce solutions or workforce development program report, excuse me, Ms. Mary Beth Bush.
All right, good evening. Just a few quick updates. I want to give you a little more specificity on what's happening with the CDL program. Dr. Insinius and Mr. Ojeda have worked really hard, and they're building this program to be a few steps above others. So we'll be the program of choice. And we are currently approved by FMCSA and listed on the National Registry for training programs, and it will take us straight to our website. So that's a really great bonus there. They are working on designation of Tucumcari as a testing site, which is really important because the closest testing sites are about 100 miles away, and it's not, it's just a bit much of a hardship for some of our program completers. And they worked some numbers and have a projection of approximately $200,000 coming into the college if we maintain at our current rate, which we plan to expand greatly. So those are some of the important aspects of that program. They're also working really hard on marketing materials and getting everything ready. So when things are ready to launch there, we'll be able to have a higher visibility for our program and better outreach for the CDL program. The other thing I just wanted to touch base on, I know Dr. Bush mentioned AACC in New York, and while he was doing his presidential duties there, I was attending a number of sessions focusing mainly on the development of our micro-credentials. And I have a lot of very good information, nuts and bolts, on how to begin building that process. And we also are still going to pursue the allied health programs. Maybe a little bit difficult because we're going to be heavily focused on getting that nursing program up and running, but we're not going to let that project die either. Probably the biggest thing we're working on right now is developing accurate and consistent setup of the courses. Everything from putting them in the registration system to the financial tracking and all those things, so that we'll be able to get programs up and running without a lot of hassle and with a lot of accuracy and success. So my goal lately has been on processes and procedures.
Okay. Does that complete your report, ma'am?
That does, unless anyone has any questions, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions for Mary Beth Bush?
You don't. Well, it's working good.
Thank you.
Okay. New business. We got any new business we're aware of? Okay. Looks like there's not really any correspondence in this packet tonight per se. Our important dates: Memorial Day, the college will be closed, which will be May the 30th. The Board of Trustees calendar is in the back, and the Board of Trustees annual calendar reports is in the back. Next board meeting will be on June the 21st. It'll be virtual. Let's see here. What else? I guess starting, what is it, next Monday? No, next week. We're on a 4-day week. Is that not correct?
It started this week.
Oh, it started this week. Okay,
Mhm.
very good. Don't really have anything else to say. Folks, if there's nothing else, it is 7:45 in the evening. I'm going to call this meeting adjourned. See y'all later. Have a good evening.
Right.
Okay.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Night. Thank you.